Hi, Scorpios, and welcome to your January 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your month of January. I hope you guys are really enjoying this calendar new year. It is really benevolent for you, and there are a lot of really great new, totally different reality scapes, I want to call it, lining up for you. By the end of this month of January, I feel that your life is very different, okay? Even your sort of like a status quo of the last 3 or 4 years, what your life has consisted of for a long time now, seems to alter dramatically through the end of January. This calendar new year seems to be maybe putting you into a new degree plan or into a new job or into a new spiritual thinking, maybe a new religion for some of you, or a new just concept of your life. The entire like thesis or concept of your life starts to change in January, and it really seems to give back. I'm seeing that Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. There's nothing like a double ace in a reading to signal a new beginning and to signal a very new way of living life. And for you, Scorpio, it's revolving around creativity and money and material well-being. Okay, so creative business owners out there, big change and big new beginning in how you operate that. Academic people out there, big changes in your academic progress or in your academic sort of a focus, new academic focus, new focuses in general coming up for Scorpio, and a really big challenge within this shift in focus to overcome a previous limit. So Scorpio is actually surpassing previous limits this month, and it's going to feel difficult. I want to warn you all. This is so important to consider before you kind of step into this new wave that the 2021 Aquarius energy is. So important. It's not going to feel perfect at first. Okay, there's going to be something about maybe this new schedule, waking up earlier, maybe having a little bit less money as you adjust to a new career that's maybe not as lucrative, but much more purpose oriented and will eventually get there. There's an adjustment phase, and Scorpio does not do great with adjustment phases. All the fixed signs struggle with this because you're about predictability, security, stability, fixation, right? So as you adjust your schedule or adjust your focus, there's an adjustment period for you too. And I don't want you to get discouraged early on, because you will adjust. It really only takes about 2 weeks of a different schedule, or 2 weeks of a different diet plan, 2 weeks without so much sugar, without so much fast food, for your body to adjust and no longer crave those things. So understand that 2 week period, okay? And for most of you, this is coming in week 2 and week 3 of January. You see that kind of cross-oriented conflict there with Five of Wands and the Devil. There's a chain right in the second middle portion, Capricorn to Aquarius, for Scorpio, because again, all of this is shifting to Aquarius, which squares Scorpio, which has a few things in common, being a fixed sign, being Aquarius energy, but also it kind of clashes. So what is also very likely to be introduced in the month of January is kind of a bit of a clash, okay? Something a bit mismatching, something that's kind of like, okay, very dualistic, kind of like a new experience of duality coming in. And I think that it just has to be like, okay, sometimes we put on that outfit and it really doesn't match and we don't catch on to it. And then we're out in like a mismatching outfit. You're a Scorpio, you're not a Virgo, it's okay. And I think you just have to rock it. Maybe something doesn't match. Maybe something with the image is weird. Maybe the hairstyle is like not really for you, but it's like right that you kind of clash with it. Okay, this is weird. I know this is strange. It's what I'm getting from this like Five of Wands, Devil energy, and then also like Queen of Pentacles coming up. There's a sort of like authenticity within a conflict or authenticity within a clash that helps you to finally define your identity. So I don't think it's happening this month, but it's being seeded this month, a definitive identity shift or a definitive shift in appearance or preferences or concepts, okay? Political changes, philosophy changes, appearance changes. For some Scorpios, I'm even seeing like cosmetic procedures, having your teeth straightened or having something like a laser surgery or something. I'm not saying an opinion one way or another about whether people should or shouldn't do that. What I am saying, though, is that there's this square from Aquarius, this 90-degree angle is so alchemizing for you that it's almost like your physical form is even partaking in this. So yes, it is a great time for that new healthy diet, for that new exercise regime to sort of coincide with this shift in schedule. Okay, Scorpios, before I get into the week to week, I just love that Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Two of Wands is here for you, and Ace of Wands. If you're a business owner, okay, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a creative genius, whether or not that's business or not, this is your month, okay? You can have everything this month. You can totally make your business what you want it to be. You can totally be understood by the people around you. You can totally have your business make the exact amount of money that it needs to make to operate itself well. You know, the creation of like passive income, of like all that stuff is also on the table. But you could even like make it a bit loftier. So transitioning into a new field, that's possible too. Performances are also possible. Making material reward for performances, anything along those lines. And through that, overcoming an addiction. So there's a new entrance of love also for all the signs. You can come into contact with a soulmate this month. It's either going to be in January or it's going to be mid-July to late July of 2021. There are two phases for most people where that can come in 2021. So I'm thinking that Scorpio really need time for this next 6 months to themselves. So if you're a single Scorpio, I don't think that you need to go crazy like looking for other people. But later this year in July, that feels very possible if you kind of get things in order. The only reason that we stay single in life, because we're actually really meant to form relationships. We're meant to travel in packs as humans. Okay, we're really not solitary creatures. At a genetic level, it's actually kind of a deviated strand of genetics that creates a solitary desire in humans, and really not a solitary creature biologically. But Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, all the water signs are quite solitary. It's not meant to be forever. But if it's here, and if you're sad, and if you're yearning for another person, the only reason they're absent, or the only reason that a soulmate or a twin flame is absent from your experience of life, from your present, is because there's chaos that only you can fix. And to introduce another person to this chaos is to multiply that chaos exponentially. And it feels that Scorpio karmically has signed out of those chapters where, okay, we've got all this chaos. Why not start a new relationship amidst all of this chaos? That really seems like the stable, sound idea, you know? You're called in the next 6 months, Scorpio, to face the chaos of your life, to wrap it all up. And yes, some Scorpios are going to kind of go like, what do I want to say? OCD with that and kind of get crazy, but it's not so bad in the short term. Like, that's actually okay. It's been okay for a little while. It takes that sometimes to get things all wrapped up. And then as you move past this 6 month phase, getting to around July of 2021, you can really stop thinking about all of these organizational structures, you know, how to form my business, what entity my business should be, what degree I'm getting, what my schedule is going to be like, what my diet's going to be like, what my relationship with my family is like, how much do I give my friendships and my family relationships, how much energy do they take, how much do I have to give. All of these kind of choices that we have individually in life are going to come into a new type of focus over these next 6 months for Scorpio. And by July, it's going to be fixed as Jupiter moves all the way through Aquarius and starts to retrograde back, squaring every single Scorpio on Earth at some point in time during the next 6 months. It will force things into alignment, right? Square, it's like a adjustment. It's like a bone chiropractic adjustment, you know? So with that, prepare, Scorpio. And then by July, as it gets into Pisces, it's like, wow, Scorpio, who's that soulmate standing right there? We have talked on and on and on, Scorpio. You are the second to last sign this month, so I am kind of like excited to be finishing up and also to be talking to you. But let's talk about the week to week really briefly, and I'll be putting together an extended reading over on Patreon for you guys who would like to support. This is my 7th reading of the day. I've really had to go crazy and record a lot today because the holidays have been so hectic, and to do all of this in my kind of like strict scheduling along with the holidays is something else. So 7th reading of the day. If you'd like to support this page, support this channel, and give back, the Patreon page will be linked below, and it's just such a great way to get all kinds of extra content. Moving on, Scorpio, first week of January, Two of Wands rooted down by Ace of Wands. Don't we love that? This is your time to shine, Scorpios. Okay, so the energy is kind of hot. As I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to like take my jacket off. So the energy is really warm. And I think that your fire element inside might be kind of overdoing itself, but it's okay for now. That's kind of the essence of everything, Scorpio. It's okay for now. This is okay for now. Where you live, who you are, what you represent, what you're doing, the choices you're making, they're okay for now. I love that. I love that thing. You can kind of just know that everything is okay for now, and not worry too much about it. But what is coming in is the perfect chance to set your yearly budget. I always say during Capricorn season, it's the perfect time to set a budget for the year ahead, to pay those taxes, to get those taxes together, to understand what your debt situation is, to understand what your future, like retirement, is looking like a long way down the road or not. Capricorn season is the perfect time for that. And it is for you too, Scorpio. Plan for your businesses, plan for your education, plan for your strategize. Scorpios love to strategize. Scorpios love to sit down at the chessboard, you know? And this is one of the only times of the year where that's actually supported, okay? So, go crazy with it. Go crazy with it. Spend all the money or don't, or save it all or whatever, and enjoy that in the first week. New ideas, new creative ideas when it comes to funding a business or funding your lifestyle or changing your lifestyle, or the also energetic budgeting. We're not just talking money here. We're talking time, energy. What's your time being allocated to? Is most of it going to sleep? What is your other energy for relationships being budgeted out to? Figure all of that out, and it will help to creatively give you more energy so that you can be moving towards your purpose more. It's also a beautiful week in January, first week, to think about your locations. That seemed like planning a vacation, planning a hiatus, planning time off, planning a trip might also be very rewarding in that week. New talents as well. Ace and Two of Wands are about talents. They're about new hobbies, things that you never even knew that you would do, but just feel so great to do. Enjoy that positivity. And what's really neat is, like, as you're moving into the second week with King of Wands rooted down by Five of Wands, even though you're busy and you're kind of like buzzing around a lot and maybe having to deal with a lot of people, maybe having to work more hours than you're accustomed to, it could be a lot of things. You might feel a bit of frustration with that Five of Wands energy, but I think what's really beautiful is to admire how much more you're doing now, or to admire how much healthier your heart is, or how much healthier your energy levels are as compared to perhaps a few years ago. By the second week of January, you're already with King of Wands, really focusing on your purpose, motivation, and creativity, and lifting it up to a higher point than it may have been in a long time. And there is a hassle with that, and I don't want you guys to get discouraged by that, by the hassle to make these shifts, this focus shift. That's what it's like, such a focus shift for you guys this month. And at first that can be tough, but just, you got to really push through. You got to really understand also what is not hard for you to push through with. For a Scorpio, there are usually, and also Sagittarius, there are things in life that they do that are very easy for them to get out of bed for, and there are some things that are very hard for them to get out of bed for. And that is a really good guide into where your energy is being placed well or not. But second week, so fiery. Again, the first 2 weeks are completely of the fire element. And I think that's because we're in the air sign of Aquarius, and it's really like fanning the flames. I said that for Aries as well. So also for Scorpio, even though you're a water sign, you're ruled by Mars too. So Scorpio is kind of a hybrid, like fire water sign. And your inner fire energy is really amping up. So more energy, more possibility for burnout as well. So you got to make sure that you're directing that purpose and that motivation in the most authentic way. And then you move into the third week with the Devil rooted down by Ace of Pentacles. And this is interesting. You start to maybe see that this business or this career is a ball and chain, anything that produces money is a little bit of a ball and chain. It is the energy of money, okay, and the role that money plays in society, which will be also changing. That's another video for another time. What are you chaining yourself up to, Scorpios? Can you maybe diversify a little bit more? Can you find a source of value in your other talents? That could go kind of crazy too. So Scorpios tend to be pretty eccentric and have many talents. You know, maybe this is a time to start offering your talents or services elsewhere. Maybe this is a time, you know, like for me, what I would say this would be for me is like, I really focus here on YouTube a lot right now. You know, for me, maybe this looks like getting my videos out on other platforms. Like that seems to be a good example for a lot of people. Like, okay, you have maybe this talent or this ability or this content, maybe try to diversify where that is. You know, maybe that would be helpful. And as you're doing that, it feels that it really does reward you, okay? With Ace of Pentacles rooting down the devil, I think some of you have a little bit of a money wound to solve first and foremost, or an addiction to money, or a shopaholic tendency, or way too much focus on the finances or on the timing, way too much focus on timing, way too much focus on anything Pentacles related is going to be healed in the third week, we're hoping, okay? And how does that happen? Maybe it's through focusing elsewhere. Maybe it's through having a lot of tests in front of you, a lot of challenges that distract you. There's a bit of a distraction there. And it's really good to be detecting as a Scorpio this dynamic. All right. So we're slowing down a little bit, and I'm trying to find the right words to encapsulate this, because it's a little bit hard for me to describe. But if you were to just look at the Devil and the Ace of Pentacles and kind of see this energy between that and, you know, what it is that we're willing to do for money, or what it is that we're willing to do for freedom of time, is that really what you see for yourself in the long run? Really good as a Scorpio to know what is and is not temporary in their lives, and to decide whether or not certain repetitive things. Okay, here's the thing, Scorpios. Decisions have to be made about the repetitive tasks in your life, especially the ones that are a job or that generate value. I think every Scorpio has to make a few changes in that vicinity. I think every single one does. I think, and I mentioned this, I want to say it was in Taurus's reading, which is on your axis, you know, fellow fixed sign. And this is something that all the fixed signs are going through, where you have to see a little bit of an alteration or difference as compared to when Saturn was in Scorpio. So Saturn moves this way where, you know, it takes about 7 years for Saturn to make a quarter transit throughout its orbit. So about 7 years ago, Saturn was in Scorpio and just going into Scorpio. So there's been a Saturn quarter return since then, and the Saturn quarter return between Scorpio and Aquarius is about developing energy sources and then the alchemization of that into another, kind of transfiguring that energy source into something else by Saturn and Aquarius. So for every Scorpio, you should see a slight difference, maybe not a complete difference, in things relating to Saturn, you know, structure, time, money, energy, all that stuff. And the third week of January is going to be the sort of beginning of that chapter, or I would say the signaler of that timing. So really big, important week for you guys, for sure. Think about it, okay? Week number 4, you've got the Queen of Pentacles rooted down by 3 of Pentacles. And it gets suddenly so beautiful. You sit with your authenticity. You sit with your sense of value. You think in an authentic way about what you're doing to create value in your life. And then maybe there's more of a teamwork atmosphere. There's more of like many people coming together to work on this one project. Collaborations seem very good. Help from your ancestors even comes up, or group mentality helps, collectives help, or getting opinions from different people start to really show you the path forward. It does feel like Scorpio can start to rely a bit more and have others really coming to help them if they need it. And on that note, Scorpio, I hope that you have a wonderful month. In January, it really feels like a very new and very different tone, so there will be a lot to explore for sure. I'm going to put together an extended reading for you all over on Patreon. If you haven't joined the Patreon page yet, I hope that you will. It is a great way to support the channel, and you also get all of the readings early and ad-free, as well as their extended counterparts Scorpios, and I do bonus weekly forecasts every Saturday on Patreon, which are only available there. So you can click the center of your screen now or the link below in the description box to jump over to Patreon where we will do this extended. Okay, Scorpios, I will talk to you next month. Much love. Bye.